Good morning, guys. Welcome to this vlog of the show. I woke up about 15 minutes ago. I put on my riding shirt. I have my schooling pants and my belt under my PJ pants. I'm about ready to go outside. We pre-packed everything last night, clean tacked, like everything you need to do before a show, so that's all done. I just need to go get breakfast and then we can head out. Okay, so I have my coffee brewing and my toast in the toaster oven. And now we wait. Okay, I have doctored my coffee, milk and sugar, and 2 ice cubes because it was a little hot. Okay, so we got both the horses out and fed them both because my sister is going to the show too and she brought her horse from college. So we fed him, I took off his fly sheet, I brushed him, picked out his feet, and now we're just letting him eat grass before we load. He's got his cute little cooler on. He's officially become a zebra. Okay, so we're currently in McDonald's because the showgrounds, like, they obtained some sort of fence damage to their arena. So schooling doesn't open until 8 instead of 7:30. So we needed to kill some time, so McDonald's it is. Okay, so we just reached the showgrounds. And Guinness is here in his little cooler. He's mostly tied, but he doesn't really like being tied, like he'll pull away. So he's just kind of loops through. He's contently eating his hay. He's being surprisingly calm. So we still have like 30 minutes until schooling technically opens. So that's fun. So we're pretty much just gonna like wait here. We've made our camp. I have my saddles and like my bridle there, just like everything, all my bags, my McDonald's coffee. Today's gonna be a good day. Right now it's not that windy, but it's supposed to get really windy when I'm riding. It's gonna be fun. What a cutie. What a cutie. Okay, so I just got out of schooling, which was a little intense. I don't know if you can tell, but there's about 1,000 people in that arena. Like, literally, I've never schooled with so many people in an arena before. Guinness was surprisingly calm, like, all things considered, considering the fact that, like, there was 1,000 people there, and he didn't like vault the jumps like he did yesterday. So, like, you know, it wasn't like award-winning. I probably won't pin, but I was proud of him. Like, he did good. He was relatively calm. And I was just sitting eating hay. I got multiple hours till my class, but I'll check in like every hour or so. He is already so sweaty after literally like 20 minutes of the schooling ring. But he's very happy to have lots of hay and to stay with his friend Jerry. Sitting here holding him and letting him graze. We've only gotten through 1.5 divisions. They did lead line and they're in the middle of pretty short. And then there's 2 short stirrup divisions an opportunity division, and then my division, which is long syrup. So it's probably a couple hours. I think I'm running at noon. So yeah, I'll update you guys in a few. I just gave him his Cool and Calm, which is like a supplement to help them stay cool. You give them 2 hours before you go
in the ring now.
Okay, so the wind is starting to pick up. I think it's like at 11 miles per hour right now, which isn't bad, but it's like not fantastic. Just sitting here. We're trying to keep him and Jerry separated for a little bit because Jerry isn't in the class I'm doing, so like we need him to get used to the idea that he's not gonna be with Jerry the whole time. He's very concerned. But yeah, so I don't know if you can hear me because of the wind, but wind is winding and will only continue to get worse, so wish me luck. Okay, so I just changed into my white sew shirt and tucked it in. I like this one because it has like mesh down the sleeves for like breathability. Whoa. But because so they're doing the division before my division. I don't know if that makes sense. So like there's this division which is almost done. They just have a jump course, I think, or they're on their last flat class and then a jump course, but it's a big class, so the jumping will take a while. And then Opportunity Hunter, which is also a big class. There's a ton of people doing it, and there's 2 jump courses. So it's probably gonna be realistically another hour, maybe hour and a half before I like actually get to ride. But I just wanted to change now, and then I'll put on my jacket before I go, and like my boots and my hairnet. One thing I hate about showing is the hairnets. The hairnets suck, but yeah. Okay, so I'm about to start getting ready to put my boots on. There's 1 division left and a few jumps and then 1 division left before we go on. So I'm gonna start getting ready and tack up, and then I will see you for my division. Oh, hairnetted and helmeted up.
Okay, so this is my first class, which is just walk trot, and this was the only flat class I was originally planning to do. So we got into the arena and he was being really calm. Like, honestly, I was surprised. He was walking fine, and I was like, oh, we got this. I mean, I wasn't like thinking I was gonna win anything, but like I was happy that he was walking calmly and everything. And then after like a couple like laps of walking, of course he needed to poop right when the judge asked us to trot. And we started trotting. We got off on the right diagonal, so I was happy about that. And he was being really good. He was whinnying a lot, and like it felt like he was like dragging his back feet a little bit. But he wasn't being like exceedingly forward. Every time we came around this corner, that jump is like a little scary to him because that was the one that fell down and like he spooked and kicked me. Well, didn't kick me off. Like I fell off when he spooked the day before. So every time we went around that corner, he was a little anxious. But so we trotted like for like literally a billion laps. Like the judge had us trot forever. Then eventually she had us walk, and he had a nice little walk transition here. And then she had us turn around, which was like fine. Like the overall in this class, he was doing pretty good, and like I wasn't really paying attention to what the other horses were doing, so I have no idea what the other horses were doing like this whole time. So you'll see what I end up winning. But so once we turned around, we were just walking, and the judge had us sit trot, I believe, is coming up, and Guinness and I have never really worked on sit trot. Like I knew that they were gonna ask us to do it at the show, but like we've never really done it much before at all, and I would think he would be a little bit anxious because that's like what we do to get into a canter. But he was doing pretty good. He was a little bit forward, but like you can't really tell because I was doing a good job of keeping him back. So yeah, we sat trot for about a lap, and then she had us go back to posting trot. But yeah, like he was being pretty good, and I was like really happy with how he was. So we did some posting trot, and then we just walked into the lineup, and here are the results. So I got first, which I literally was not expecting whatsoever. And you can kind of tell in this clip how windy it was, because how windy it was, I wasn't expecting that, like, we were going to get first at all. So I, like, literally, when they announced second place, I was like, I knew I either had to suck or I had to be first, and I knew I didn't suck. So I literally started crying then and there. Like, I was just so proud of him that we got first on our first ever show together, and like with how windy it was. And so I was just super proud of him. So I was really glad that we did that together and that we got first. And then as I was like walking, I was about to walk out because there's a walk trot canter class. But I was not going to do the walk trot canter class. But then my mom and my trainer were like telling me, you're going to do it. You have to do it. Like, do it. Like, you got this. Like, I believe in you. I was like, I have not cantered in this ring. And like, we didn't warm up our canter. Like, I didn't know how he was going to be. And he hasn't been great for cantering at home. But they had me do it. So here is my canter class. Okay, so we walked in, and the wind was starting to really pick up. Like, it was really windy. You can kind of tell in certain angles where you can see the sand, but, like, it was super windy. So she had us walk, of course, and she had us trot. I'm not going to show that many clips because, obviously, I don't want this video to be, like, 10 hours long. But we were trotting a lot, and I, like, again, was not paying attention whatsoever to what the other riders were doing. I was just, like, focusing and trying to get Guinness to be the beautiful horse he was meant to be. And he like felt pretty good on this. I think I was a little nervous, and that consequently made him a little bit nervous. Here was when they asked us to walk, and part of the reason I didn't want to do this class is because they asked you to canter from the walk, and I have never done that in Guinness before until now. I mean, obviously I asked him to do a few trot steps here before we had us canter, but I was so nervous when they had us canter. But we got the right lead. And obviously, this is not a very pretty canter. Like, he was taking very small strides because he really wanted to go. But I was, like, being like, heck no. So, like, I think I pulled on him a little bit too much, but I was really pulling on him and trying to get him to slow down. Because he wasn't going fast, but you could tell he wanted to. And his head was a little bit up. But, like, overall, the left lead canter was really not that bad. Like, I think if his right lead canter had looked like this, then we may have placed higher than we did. But, like, he really wasn't being that bad, all things considered, with all the factors factor in the wind. We've never done this before and stuff like that. So he was being pretty good. And then they had us walk. We turned around and we trotted the other way. And then they had us walk again. I don't know if I have clips of this in here, but they had us walk again, and then we cantered again. So you'll about to see what's the right lead canter. But, of course, they had us canter right in front of the judges, which is fantastic. And he originally picked up his right lead, as you can tell here, but his head was super high up in the air. He was freaking out. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but you could feel he was like shaking. So I decided to take one for the team, and I just trotted him in the circle because I'd rather not place because I trotted than like get kicked off, you know. So we just trotted in the circle a little bit. And then I decided I was going to try the canter again. So I asked for the canter. He got the right lead again, so I was really happy about that. It was just like coming around this corner, he felt super off balance. He felt like he was going to spook. He was just like taking really weird steps. So I just started trotting again, brought him to the middle, and then they asked us to walk. So obviously this canter wasn't pretty, but it is what it is. And I ended up getting 6th in this class. There were only 6 people in the class. So here we have jumps. And this was my warm-up trip. And he was pretty good in schooling. But he was not very good today. He was kind of feeling like he was behind my leg a little bit. He was not really going forward when I asked him to. And I think I was holding it back a little bit because I was scared he was going to vault the jumps like he has in the past. So I was not giving him enough lead up, like enough approach to this jump. This is a tiny jump. And he immediately starts walking. He's clearly scared of it. He's like backing up. He just was not going forward. And he had issues with this jump the other day, too. So I finally got him to go over it, but obviously that was freaking ugly. Good thing this was a warm-up because it was really bad. And then he started walking, like, literally 20 feet away from the other one. And this one was a little scarier because it had plants in the standards, and the plants were, like, moving. And he was quite scared of this one, but then he, like, started backing up. Well, I asked him to back up, like, 2 steps, but then he started backing up way more than I wanted to. Like, here, this is not me asking him. I was trying to get him to go forward, but he wouldn't. Eventually, I did get him to go forward, and then we had another quite ugly jump, which is right here. And he just, I just wanted him to get over the jumps, because this is a warm-up, so it's not judged. I just wanted, to get him over them and get him to see that they're not going to eat him. And then we are coming around to this gray jump. and it was looking good. Like it was looking like he was going to go forward. And then at the last possible moment, I was leaning forward, he went forward, and then I fell off. So that was not great. After much contemplation, we decided that I was going to do the regular jump course because I wasn't like injured. We had a great start with this little tiny spook right here. Fantastic, love that. And the wind was it was ridiculously windy. Like I was so scared the whole entire jump was about to fall down. So I got him trotting into his hunter circle again, and I could just tell that this was not going to be a good course. Like, you can kind of feel when your horse is about to do something bad. And he didn't do, like, anything worse than making me fall off. But, like, he was just so behind my leg. He was not going forward. He was so scared of these jumps and, like, the wind and the noises that the sand was making. So he would walk right before and then, like, do this weird jump thing. And this was the only jump that he, like, went to without walking before, but you could tell he was still hesitating, and then he still tried to like get over it as fast as humanly possible. But then we're coming around this corner, and this white jump is the one where he spooked at the day before, and he was not having it. I took out a lot of the footage because I spent like 3 minutes trying to get him to go over this jump. He was so scared and like was just walking and was just like, he was throwing his shoulder out, he was spinning in circles. This is just like the beginning of it. He was like, there were plants in front of the sanders, and he did not want to go forward at all. So I, like, forced him. I tried to get him to go. He was, like, backing up. He was not having it. And after a couple of tries, I ended up just giving up because at some point, like, after technically 3 refusals, you are disqualified. And I believe I did 3, but, like, it just took so long to get him even close enough that it would be considered a refusal. But, like, you could tell he was really scared. Like, he'd get, like, a foot away and then, like, panic and back up. So I ended up just leaving that jump without actually doing it. Okay, so now we transition to after the show.
Okay. We have got a lot to unpack here because I have not updated you since my little voiceover of my ride. Anyway, so after my class, we debated if I wanted to do horse pleasure, but horse pleasure was like, so my hands are so dirty. Horse pleasure was supposed to be like really later on. It is currently 7:30, so I just got home so after my class, we decided I'm not gonna do horse pleasure. So then my mom drove me and Guinness home because my sister had to leave straight from the show to college with her horse. So we brought Guinness home, we went back, and I watched for a couple hours because my sister had like a lot of classes left to do. So I was watching, and her and Jerry did really good. She got like a first, and like she got like 6 ribbons or 7 ribbons, all above 5th place. So I was really good. She did great. And then my mom drove me, my sister, and my sister's horse to like a meeting place. My dad picked me up. So overall, I feel like this was a really good first show. Even though I got dumped, it's fine. Like, I feel like he did well. Like, he coped well with the stress of everything going on around him and like so many horses in the ring. And we came out with the first and a 6, so, I'm not mad at it. Like, I think it was a good way to just give him exposure. So, yeah, thanks for coming along with this vlog. I hope you enjoyed, and I will be back probably in the next show. Or if you guys want another long-form video like this, let me know, and I will do it. Love you guys, and bye!